What up, though? All praises go to the Most High, man. It's your boy Trill, man. And today, I want to talk about emotions, man. Emotions, man. These emotions, hey, they getting out of control out here. They getting out of control, man. For real, for real. And you know, it ain't nothing wrong with it, man. But I feel like we gotta learn how to realize that emotions are temporary, you know? It's like the wind. You know, you feel a breeze, and then it go, you know? You feel anger, and anger can go. You feel sadness, sadness can go. Same way you feel joy, joy can go. You feel happiness, happiness can go. All these things are emotions, man, and all these things are fluttering. All these things are like butterflies, you know. They say emotional roller coaster because all of them got ups and downs, highs and lows, man. But I feel like we're not making the conscious effort to stay in emotions that make us feel good, man. And that's important, man, especially when it comes to creating the reality you want. You know what I mean? It's very, very important in feeling good, you know what I mean? And not dwelling in the feelings that we don't want. Because everybody feel angry. Who the richest person on the world? Elon Musk. He get angry. He get sad. Who the poorest person in the world? Hey, they get angry. They get sad, man. Everybody is blessed. I feel like it's a blessing. Everybody is blessed with emotions, you know, because these emotions are the only thing that, you know, can make us be compassionate in a sense, you know, or feel empathy, you know, because it's always a time when we all feel down, you know what I mean? But we got to learn how to let the emotions flow, you know. If you sad, cry. If you can't cry, you know, go sulk. I don't know, you know, go grieve, you know, but don't sit in that grievance, you know, don't sit in that state of grief, you know what I mean? Try, you know, let it flow through, let it be natural, let the grief, you know, flow through you. But it's like, don't sit in it, don't dwell on it, don't keep thinking those thoughts that bring grief, don't sit there and think about being sad all day. Don't sit there and think about how you don't got enough all day. Don't sit there and think about how this person betrayed you all day, because we can't really control our emotions. They're forever coming and going. You know what I mean? They forever coming and going, but we can control our thoughts. You know what I mean? Our thoughts can control our feelings. You know what I mean? Because even when you're feeling sad, you can have a good thought about feeling sad. You know what I mean? Real talk. Like, I can think about my grandma. My kids bring my grand up all the time, yo. And this is what really helped me unmask my emotions. You know, when my grandma passed, it was very emotional for me. That was the first time I cried in so many years. She passed when I probably was like 29. Man, I probably ain't cried 15 years, 14 years before that. You know what I mean? So that's a long time of no crying. And trust me, between me and y'all, I had a whole bunch of shit to cry about, you feel me? But I just bottled them up, you know what I mean? But when my grand passed away, you know, it was something that the lid had busted, you know? And it seemed crazy. You know, it's one thing about bottling emotions up, you know? You know, a bottle has a lid. Any bottle has a top, like a boiling point, like a point where it's gonna spill over, you know? So if you just, every time you angry, you putting that anger in a bottle. You pouring it in a bottle, you pouring it in a bottle. Eventually, the bottle gonna overflow, you know? And it's gonna be a mess. And everybody gonna be looking at you like you crazy, you know what I'm saying? But when you feeling this anger, when you feel angry, you know, you just let it flow, you know? You might yell, you might go to the gym, work out, you might, you know, punch on the punching bag, whatever you do, whatever can help you get through, but you let it flow. Let it flow out, you know? So that way, if it can never overflow, it can never spill out, it can never become a mess, because you're handling it as it comes. You're dealing with the emotions as they flowing through you, rather than masking them or hiding them or bottling them up, you know, whatever terminology you want to use. It's just a big difference, man, and it helps you. It helps your state of mind. It helps your emotional being, because your emotional intelligence is just as important as your mental intelligence. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta really learn how to deal with our emotions better. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta learn how to cope with our emotions better. How to let our emotions flow better, you know, because the flow state is the natural state of things. You know, it's natural for it to flow. When you're not letting those emotions flow, it's unnatural. It's unnatural, you know, and once you do snap, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The emotions is gonna spill over eventually. And nobody really gonna be able to understand you because it's something you've been hiding for so long. It's like they didn't even think you had emotions. But that's a lie. Everybody got emotions. The most cold-hearted, cruelest, gangest kind had emotions. You hear me? He just showed his anger and rage and wrath the most. You know what I mean? All these people got emotions. Malcolm X had emotions, man. Everybody. So it's like, we gotta realize this, man. And we gotta let it flow, man. We gotta let it be, man. Because it could really be a real bad thing for your existence. Like, it could be a bad thing for your existence, because if you're not showing your emotions, it make it hard for people to connect with you, you know? Because in a sense, you in a false state of reality. You're not being real. You're not being true to yourself, man. When you're not letting them emotions flow. When somebody makes you mad and purposely making you mad, like intentionally making you mad, don't think that it's not people out here that's intentionally trying to make us mad, intentionally trying to make us sad, intentionally pressing our buttons, intentionally pulling on our heartstrings. And when you're not showing that, it's like you disconnecting with them. And when you disconnecting with the world, you disconnecting with God, you disconnecting with yourself. You know what I mean? Because you are the world. You are God. You just on a micro level. You know, you on an individual level. So it's like, we got to understand that, man, because a person could be trying to make you feel something because they want a connection with you. They're begging for it. They so desperate for a connection with you. They done tried to make you feel happy, you didn't show it. They done tried to make you feel joy, you didn't show it. They done tried to make you feel excited. You never showed none of that. So now they like, hold up. I just want to see something out this motherfucker. Let me try and make them jealous. Oh, they ain't showing the jealous. Let me try and make them sad. Let me bring up some sad stuff. Let me start crying around them. So maybe they will have empathy for me, and maybe they could cry with me. Maybe they can release it. Maybe they will know that it's not shameful to cry because I'm demonstrating it, you know? And then you don't connect with them on that level. So now they like, man, let me see if I can bring some anger out this person. Let me see if I can bring some because they just want to feel you. We all just want to be felt, in a sense. Yeah, we want to be understood mentally, but at the same time, we want to be felt. If you sad, it'll make it so much easier if you express that with somebody and they could be like, man, that made me sad too, bro. You feel? That made me sad too, babe. You know what I'm saying? If you tell a motherfucker you sad and they just sitting there looking like, fuck you sad, folks, nigga, cheer up. Like, it's like, damn, this nigga don't even feel me. How you don't feel where I'm coming from? If I'm telling you I'm exhausted and I'm trying my hardest and all these different things or obstacles are coming in my way, and it's like, you supposed to be my person, you know, whether it's, you know, intimate or that's your significant other, or if it's just your man, like your main man, you supposed to be my man. You supposed to be my person, like my peoples. You supposed to be like my brother. And you just don't got no empathy. You ain't got no capacity. You can't even feel me when I'm saying some shit that I feel like a rock could feel. Nigga, I feel like this duck right here, this duck right there can feel what I'm saying. If I could speak duck, The duck will be like, damn, you going through some shit, bro. I feel you, man. That shit just hurt me a little bit. Damn, they doing you like that. They doing you bold as that. The duck don't understand what I'm saying. So when you not connecting with them, with these people emotionally, it kind of give a sense of you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm expressing this is because I feel like a lot of us out here do give a fuck. A lot of us out here do care. We just so emotionally guarded and got so many blocks up, man, that it's, you know, we feel like we done been played with so much. We feel like people done betrayed us when we have opened up to them so much. And a lot of it's been as kids, you feel me? As a kid, you know, it's kind of shunned upon, especially a black boy, a black male kid in America. You know, that's the perspective I come from. You sad, you's a bitch. Straight up, you's a bitch. You crying, you's a bitch. You feeling anyway? Oh, you compassionate? Nigga, we starving, nigga. You don't want to go rob these people? You's a bitch. Like, come on, man. Like, that's the environment a lot of us come from. A lot of emotional disconnect, man. And you know, I don't want us to do that to our kids, man. And I don't want us to do that to ourselves, man. I don't want us to do that to our people, man, because we deserve that. We deserve that for real. Just us being human, you know. Just that person being your mother, or that person being your father, or that person being your son, or that person being your daughter, or that person being your brother, or that person being your sister. Like, just that connection deserves to be felt, you know? Deserves to be felt, you know? And deserves to have some type of empathy shown towards them, you know? Real talk. Love y'all, man. Good thoughts, good vibes. In a minute.